Sometimes there are things that take place in empty rooms that defy belief and so go unnoticed. A boom tube penetrates the earth to a designated room. Animates emerge from the boom tube. They are powered by a single mind. They rearrange the room and set it as a stage for the animate chosen to perform. They carry him with utmost care. The chosen animate is in position to await entry by the mind force as it begins to possess it. The mind force acts. Think of a living being that exists as pure energy. A being has a personality without a body. But there are times when the unseen personality must manifest itself in the physical world. And so it uses animates incredibly complex mobile forms in the image of man. To look as it once did, to be as it once was. It breathes, it moves, it feels, and it's evil. Mr. Miracle and Oberon are rehearsing a stunt when the phone rings. Scot-free escapes from the trap with 1 second to spare. Oberon answers. He speaks to a stranger known as Dr. Bedlam. Scot-free grabs the phone and immediately asks for the terms for battle. The mother box allowed Scott to know it was a foe from his hometown of Apocalypse. Scott mentions how the mother box shields him from the mental attack over the phone, a super hypnotist that attacks the mind. Scott tells Oberon to touch the mother box and let her signals take command. Oberon begins to fear as the mother box transports them to a formless dimension. The light dims as Oberon freaks out, then they all come out. The beasties of the night, the terrors that live within man. Oberon screams in fear, while Scott tells him to remain calm. Oberon is covered in frost, while Scott is in flames like the pits of Apocalypse. After an eternity, it passes, and in the fading darkness, maniacal laughter fills the chamber of their soul. Oberon is fainting. He was in tremendous fear. Scot-free reassures him, saying that Oberon did great, but now he must face Dr. Bedlam. Scot-free emerges as Mr. Miracle. He flies on his arrow discs through the city towards the Chandler Towers. As Mr. Miracle arrives, his patient foe prepares his fatal trap. Bedlam tells Mr. Miracle to surrender himself in the name of Darkseid or die. Mr. Miracle refuses, so Dr. Bedlam takes a pill. Mr. Miracle says that Bedlam cannot tranquilize an adversary, for he must be equally aware to take full advantage of what weapons he possesses, for it's the code of combat. Dr. Bedlam says the pill is to activate the trap. The trap is the entire building known as the Chandler Towers. For Mr. Miracle to defeat Bedlam, he'll have to descend to the lobby floor and exit. Seems easy, but no, for in the building, going to and from for their own individual purposes are thousands of Earth folk. They are ordinary and self-disciplined people, but not on this day. The pill turns lambs into wolves. Dropping it in the ventilation system will honeycomb the building. The pill becomes vapor and enters every room in the building. The vapor is seeded with madness of paranoia. Between Mr. Miracle and freedom stands an army of maniacal, unpredictable enemies. Dr. Bedlam says his world is of the mind. He doesn't use metal or medieval tactics. He uses the mental that leads to the pit. Mr. Miracle then kicks him in the chest. Dr. Bedlam has vanished. Only his animate remains. Meanwhile, in every office in the Chandler Towers, the people are infected with the vapor of the pill. From every doorway and every corridor, madness and all its horror spins into wild frenzy. Mr. Miracle seeks to escape while angry people are breaking down doors. Dr. Bedlam's paranoia pill-worked. Mr. Miracle seeks to escape through the window using his arrow discs. Mr. Miracle is hit with a cosmic current the moment he touches the window. Dr. Bedlam has sealed the building. There is only one way out. Suddenly, with not much room to maneuver, Mr. Miracle uses his utmost skill to launch himself into the building corridors. The angry mob lifts tables up in hopes he crashes into it. Mr. Miracle manages to avoid all obstacles. Mr. Miracle sees the elevator door open and flies to it. He managed to pass 5 floors without incident. His plan is to make it down the lobby without injuring himself and to the people. Mr. Miracle presses the emergency stop button. He stops on the 45th floor while getting shot at. He exits the elevator, and the mob immediately grabs him. Like one caught in the grip of a violent sea, Mr. Miracle allows himself to be borne along by the driving mob. Some mobsters found a trunk in the mail room. They call Mr. Miracle a demon and plan on putting him in the trunk. They shove him in the trunk and sit on the lid. There is no abatement. Instead, the scene grows wilder as the mobsters grabs rope and chains. They punch air holes in the trunk to allow the demon to breathe until they decide what to do with him. Mother Box signals are probing their every move, enabling Mr. Miracle to shift before he gets punctured. Mr. Miracle is thrown off balance. The trunk containing Mr. Miracle is ruthlessly thrown over the open stairway, where death waits 45 floors below. Mr. Miracle waited too long. The chances of him escaping is 10 past 0.